We're back on Mum's couch. It's a good thing she loves me. We're here for my mate's 30th. Shout out to him. He's finally as old as me. And the Cowboys got a win as well. They were down very early, and that's 2 weeks in a row now for the Titans. They've got an early lead and absolutely squandered it. And look, if that second Fermor try went through, it would have been 24-6. And yeah, the Cowboys look like they're in a world of hurt. And then they put on basically 50 points in that the back end of that first half into the second half, which was pretty wild. And the game was led by Fermor with his 109, and then it was absolutely dominated by Did and Drinkwater, Darby, Nanai, and Robson to finish that one off, and Talangi did a lot of his work early on. So, yeah, incredible from those guys to put on those massive scores. And, yeah, it was the game that you wanted a lot of players, and unfortunately I had just the one, and they were a Titan who wasn't Fermor. Brimson ended up 44, which is actually pretty solid, to be fair. Good tackle numbers, but yeah, you want to Drinkwater in this one, and very similar to Teddy. Like, Teddy went nuts in the back end of his game, and then Drinkwater was on 8 in 30 minutes for the big turnaround as well. So, yeah, frustrating not owning him and buying Marzu instead, but a shout out to everyone who did buy the Drinky man. And for those that went early on Fermor, like it was getting close now after the 49 last week, actually with the try, to then come out with 109 with a try assist, 2 try savers in there, 48 tackles, 133 meters gained, 5 tackle breaks, 2 offloads. That is an absolute haul, and our highest score of the year. So a big shout out to Bo for what he came up with in this one. And yeah, could have had that second try as well. Worked hard to get from where he was to put that ball down, but unfortunately, yeah, was no bueno. But yeah, incredible. If you have him this week, if you have Drinkwater, they're the couple of players that really took you over the top. The Teddy as well. If you had Drinky Teddy combo, you're flying this week. And the Payne Haas captain when Cleary went low this week with a 52 as well. Hopefully, Terrell May can go big with a 70 plus as well, just to help our scores out and not have it be a bit of a whitewash to the Haas captain is there. But Din was awesome. 5 try assists. Some of the passes were incredible, so shout out to him. Does he make Origin? I feel like he definitely should. Will he be the 14? Will they play with Ben Hunt? There's a few questions there for that one. Drinkwater with the 6 goals. He's just, he's getting junk offloads. He's making plays with a couple of try assists. He's got the line break himself. 3 line break assists, kicking in general play a bit. So it's all happening around that for Drinky. And if you bought this week, awesome. If you didn't buy this week, can you buy next week? Yes. He's got 3 games up until their buy in round 12, and then he's a really good purchase in round 13 as well. They don't have another buy until the final round of the season, following round 12. So yeah, that's a good little section to have a look at someone like him. More for the fact that you get him for the entirety of the season. He should be well up into the 650 odd range and be near that 670 price point, which puts him at about a 50 average price stat. And he probably averages somewhere around this 51 going forward. So it's not a value purchase by any means, but it's a solid, I've got him every week in wing fullback in a tough position type of purchase. Robert Darby's been average, to say the least, to put it bluntly at this point, and then picked up 4 line breaks and 3 tries in this one. So a massive score. Probably not someone we're going to chase as a winger that you'd say in an average team, but the Cowboys are 6 now, which is incredible. So congrats to them. Just on that right-hand side, you've got guys like Braden Burns to return soon, so there's a few question marks around that spot. You could chase it, but you may get burnt as well. Jeremiah Nanai, is he back in action? He looked much better in this game. He did have a couple errors still. The 1 missed tackle only is good, and picked up 2 tries, 2 line breaks. So at his price point, it's interesting, but also someone that's probably going to be in the Origin setup, most likely. He seems to play well in that setup, but the round 12 buy, you can suss it out if he's going to be in that setup, I think, and then maybe looking around 13. Just an awkward price. I think he's going to be mid 400s, and yeah, that's about it. Robson, 70 for him in this one. Back to business in the last couple of weeks. 2 really good scores in around that buy. So good to see him back playing well. The Cowboys need him to play well. And yeah, we need him to have a good season before he leaves. Definitely. But not someone we can have a look at buying, given he'll be in the Origin team pretty well likely. Talangi, 61 for him in the 68 minutes. A really good game as well, but not of interest fantasy-wise. Similar to that with Bateman. Tino's 47 in 62 minutes. He got the try saver. He picked up a try assist as well, which is a massive forward pass as well. How they can go back and check everything but forward passes. Surely you can go back and check blatant forward passes. It's not. Those ones that are short, like that one, the Isaiah Katoa one the other week, like, they can be easily decided on. These ones that are 50-50, put downs and little bobbles and different things like that, they make these calls on and don't go like, benefit of the doubt, but those blatant forward passes, they're like, yeah, it's fine. Move on, as I'll do now. Brimson, 44, good tackle numbers. That was the big thing, plus 22 on that side. A couple of turnover tackles when you are making plenty is good. Run the footy a little bit. You basically hardly run the footy in the second half, and kicked a little bit as well. I think picked up a forced dropout in there. Yeah. So 44, really happy with that at the price point in a game where they end up getting whacked. And he didn't score a lot in that second period apart from tackles. So yeah, happy with that overall. Did accumulate well enough. So that's the good thing with these sixes. You saw that with Fletcher Sharp as well. 30 odd tackles, a try saver from tackling. Brimson got the turnover tackles in this one. So for attacking players to do it defensively is such a win. In games where they get beat, to have that in your bank is awesome. So that's where those two can be really helpful for your sides. And I think my wing fullback, it's kind of holding together this week. There's no low scores for me, but just not having like Teddy and Drinky, that like the big scores can hurt you a little bit. Judge for Fafita, you had Jackson Purdue with the 43, turned it on in the second half, especially when the team started scoring well. He had 2 line breaks, a really good try-saving tackle in cover from De Groot to stop him getting a second try. But played really well. He's such a good guy to have in your side, and will make a ton of money this week as well. He'll be well into the 500s, and my only real shining light in Supercoach this week. He'll be getting closer to 700k very, very quickly. It's incredible. After that couple of good scores. Cotter, 50 minutes. Didn't need to overload him in this one, which was good to see. Tom Weaver, I thought he was playing really well in the first half, and then the team just capitulated in the second, and he did miss a chunk of tackles there. McIntyre, Tamalolo doing some good work out there. Lolo only had to play 38 minutes, so it's also good news there. Randall, 33, Jolliffe, 29. I was having some flashbacks. Magic Round's going to go well next week. It's going to happen. Jolliffe, 5 minutes into Saturday, when I was ready for a pub day, did his peck as a pod. I was like, you beauty. For JJ, just seeing him last night, I was just like getting some, as Magic Round approaches next week, I was getting some jitters with JJ there, and he's off in the sin bin and having a fun time out there. You had Clifford in the sin bin as well. This sin binning stuff is getting ridiculous. How they can put a crackdown on it 1 week and then go nuts with it for that week, and then the next 2 weeks do nothing, and then the third week or fourth week go back to it. It's astounding how they can do this, and little taps, little slaps in the face is sin bin worthy. Why in the world do they not have a 5 minute sin bin? I just don't understand. 10 minutes is a crazy amount of time in footy. Why don't you have, for the smaller offences, 5 minutes? Sweet. If it hits a little hits to the head or whatever, 5 minutes. When they whack them in the head, if they do something bad, professional fouls, whatever it is, if you think it's worthy of a 10, like it was really blatant, rather than only a little bit blatant, then 5 and 10. It's not that hard, surely. Don't know why they don't do it. But Clifford's one of those ones that over the last few weeks, unfortunately, hasn't scored super well. And this is the type of games he can throw up, which is definitely something to note. He hasn't had a history of really, really good scores. He was averaging like 60 odd, and the last few weeks have really brought that down. So if you bought after that, you haven't been rewarded, and unfortunately, these are the things that we see with these types of players who don't have a bank of scores with them. But Fermor, on the other hand, he has a bank of being a 50-odd scorer. So him scoring 20s and 30s, a 49, those types of games are his low side, and then he has the higher side. Although we didn't think 110 was in the bank. Can't Pereira with 8 in 80 minutes. That's wild. Keep an eye on him, given he can do really well, and we've seen him. He's averaging 22 this year. If that drops down and he ends up in the 3s at some point, he could be an interesting pick. And Dave Fafita with 26 in 59 minutes. This is maybe a bit of I told you so. But Fafita has looked very, very poor all but one game this year. You have to look at that. The stats say so as well. He looked terrible the first bunch of games. He looked really good in that one game, and we were buying him off that. And I think people got lucky, to be honest, that they were able to reverse that trade, because I think it was going to be an absolute roller coaster. And this was one of those games there, 59 minutes. The problem with this, to be fair, was that he came on after they'd scored a lot of their points, Titans, so he wasn't able to revel in that. And then the Cowboys took over. But this is a team that's very poor, and there are going to be weeks where he doesn't get the opportunity to get attacking stats, and he's going to have to defend, and he's going to miss tackles and the like there. So that was kind of the worry, and I do think people got lucky with that Fafita one. I was going to buy in Supercoach, to be fair. I was going to roll with that one, but wasn't to be. Anyhow, Eagles, they played really well. They got they got a really good win here, and that disallowed try for the Panthers really hurt them, because it was going to get, I think, back to 16 all, and it didn't happen. And then the Eagles ran away with it, and a really nice try to Kohler, moving from that left-hand side to the right. It was very, very impressive. Olakuatu had an awesome game too. 78 for him. These are the bounce-back games that you need from someone like him. He looked terrible for a month there. Basically, since round 1, I think he had a 69 and then a 50-odd in like round 4 or 5. All the other games were very, very poor, and these are the types of games you can get from these barnstorming guys. And you have to hold through the ups and the downs to get the up here. So congrats to any holders. This is a massive week for you to get that 78. Not someone we're going to look at over the next few weeks. They've got a bye as well, so keep that in mind for the Manly boys and the Cleary's men. Not fun at all. Ugh, Isaiah, so sad. So sad with the 50. DCE 73 with a try saver, a couple of turnover tackles as well, 2 try assists, big kick meters. So I got 40 in tackles and kick meters. It's great. And going back to some of the scores that he had at the start of the year, which is good for him. Simpkin 61 in 58 minutes was very impressive. 7 tackle breaks in this one and 2 line breaks. That's a great stint for him. Playing in that 9 jersey with Tavanga in the 13. Lachlan Croker probably back in a couple of weeks, well, hopefully for his sake anyway. So guys like Tavanga, guys like Simpkin will have Gerbo back, hopefully playing 13. And we'll see the shuffles with Tavanga and all that. I had him personally as a 1 week play. And got a big down date, unfortunately, to 37. Played 70 minutes, Tavanga. It was wild. I'll speak about him while we're here anyway. He was kind of the relevant guy in this game, given how well he scored last week, and then moving back to the 13. But he had the 6 missed tackles, unfortunately, the error and the inside 10. To have 35 made 6 misses is a bit rough there. So 37 at that price. It's a good price rise this week, and he should do okay for the next few, but you're just hoping that he does stay in the forwards and doesn't go back to 9 where he wasn't scoring very well. Isaac Tungo, 59 for him. He had a much better game. 5 tackle breaks, the offload, no negatives for him was really important in this one for him to get back into some decent form. So 59, much better game for him, but still didn't help the team, unfortunately. And then Garrick, 5 goals, the try and line break very early on. I think he was 30-odd in like 20 minutes and flying. I think he was 65 overnight as well, wasn't he? He was definitely in the 60s and then down dated, I think, to the 58. Let me know if he was 62 or 65. I wasn't sure. But as a non-owner, that was definitely helpful. 18 tackles, 1 miss, good run meters, a really nice game for him and this Manly side, as we said. And then you got the Cleary-Yo combo here, 52 and 50. Tough if you're a captainer of Cleary here. Just so up and down. Like to go 93 without try assists or tries last week, he is really low on assists and try numbers this year. I don't believe he scored a try at all. And assists are really, really low. Nothing last week, nothing this week as well. 1 goal, because the team, it's just sucking at the moment. Missed the other. Really close, but that's him. Really good, a really good kicker. 2 errors for himself. Good kick meters. Okay run meters. No offloads. 52. It's pretty stock standard, unfortunately, for this type of game when they're just not playing well. And then Isaiah Yo, I think he was on about 48 in like 68 minutes and then just fell in a heap and had a missed tackle, had an error. Sorry, had the penalty in that one as well with the high tackle. And to be fair, I'm actually glad that he didn't get sin bin the way it was going. 45 tackles, 3 misses, lower run meters, 1 tackle break only with the neg 8 there. Not his best game. And round 11, it looks like him or Cleary or both are going to be sells just at the price point that you can get. Like Yo's gone up lovely over the last few weeks and that'll stabilise him now, and hopefully doesn't lose much over the next few weeks. But a 50 is it's not terrible for cash losses anyway. Lindsay Smith, 45 for owners of him. It's okay. Blaze Stalling, you got that try at dubbing half. That was the easiest try. One of the easiest tries you'll ever see. Isaiah Papali'i just hasn't kicked on, has he? Unfortunately. Still only getting 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 50. They need him to really take a leap, which they haven't got. They've lost Fish and Luai and some really important players, and they just haven't been able to cover it at all this year. And other years they've been able to, and this year it's just not been the case, unfortunately. And they're dead last on the table, and they don't look like the worst team. Knights definitely look like the worst team at the moment, but they're apart from last week, they're up there as not looking great at all. And then Tavanga we spoke about, Dill Edwards, the 36 for him. I just remember Magic Round, he was absolutely flying leading up to Magic Round, and then was first try scorer and doing really, really well in that one. So 36 for him with the line break, the 9 tackle breaks, 146 meters. It's for him to have a line break and 9 tackle breaks and still only at 36 is pretty rough there, with a escape from in goal as well. So you got the big score last week, and then back to sort of normal programming for him and this team right now, just not performing at their best. Alamotti, 36. He had the sin bin as well. There's so many bins. How many in this game? 1, 2, 3. So 3 in this game. Yeah, not great. Not great at all. And yeah, after his massive score last week, he had 4 offloads. He had the try assist, but 36 only. Not ideal. Liam Henry playing lower minutes this year, hey. Averaging 34.7. That Kohler, really good try. We had Burbo's 31. Got a little update from 27, I believe. Good tackle numbers. He had the 97 run meters. Just pretty boring, I suppose, for him, without any attack, without good base stats as well. Not someone, like, he's averaging 40. He's actually been doing pretty well, and this is one of his lowest scores of the season, so hopefully he can bounce back for anyone who did jump on. Taukauho with the 27 in 42, so very low on his score, but it was contributed by that sin bin and a couple of penalties, couple of missed tackles there with no attacking stats in tackle breaks and offloads there for him. So hopefully a bounce back and into those mid-30s and 40s. And this was a game you'd probably hoped that he got mid-40s minutes and picked up a 40 score there after having a couple of guys out there. Sorensen, 23 in 71 minutes. He's down at 30 average, so just not scoring well at all in the last 2 years there. And try saver in this one as well to get that score. 5 missed tackles, 34 run meters for a guy that was very damaging 2 years ago. They're just not getting the same out of a lot of their players, unfortunately. And then Jenkins, he picked up an offload in there, but again, just not getting the footy. When Casey McLean got the HIA, he did come back on very quickly. Obviously, they're only missing the 14, 15 minutes, but for Jenkins, it was like, yeah, you might get ball, but then Mav Guy came on and he, wasn't gonna be too helpful apparently. 22 for him, definitely a sell. I sold this week. I think a lot of people did as well, and I imagine people will over the next few weeks. Missing round 11. Look, him and To'o could be better, but the team's just not playing well enough now, and he needs to be playing centre because he gets the tackle numbers. Like, he played wing here and got 9 tackles for 0 misses, which is great, but when he can get mid-teens tackles and gets his hands on the ball more at centre than he does at wing, then it's much better for him, which we're just not getting. And then Casey McLean, 13 for him in 66 minutes, and Leo Hopewadi, an 8. So a real tough one for him out there in this one. In a team where they won, the ball just didn't get out to him at all. 63 run meters, wasn't doing a lot of work out of his half either. So a low one there and a pretty tough one overall. And there you go, guys. That's the 2 games for this week. We've got 3.5, 4 hours now, and once you see this video until the last 2 games, I'm very, very excited for this round to be done. Move on, new week, new trades, and get into that one next week. And I hope you've had a good week, and I hope things work out for you guys this afternoon. I've got 6 players plus my loop and captain, so lots happening here, and I hope the rain isn't too crazy, especially for my attacking players in the Tigers Sharks game with Nico Hines, Stafford Toa, and, well, I suppose I've got Tamale, Nicholson, these types of guys that need to score well as well. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing those games today and how that plays out. And I think I'm out to like rank 6,000 something now after being 1,300. So hopefully things get a little bit better today. And I hope you guys have a cracking fantasy last day of the round. See you guys. Have a good one.